Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact pair of reactions. Today we don't have technically a request from Harshit, but we kind of do, because he tried to request it, it didn't work, but Gian Nunez in the comments put it in there instead. It just happened to be the same pair, and has received the blessing of thy holy Harshit. So I guess we'll be listening to these two. I know Offertorium of Fortuitum, that one I've memorized, but I can't memorize the second one because I'm bad at other languages, so don't mind me as I stare at my computer screen as I read this. Non si levava ancor, I assume that is, or ancor. It could be either one. I don't know. I tried to look up how to pronounce those words and I could not find a single answer to it. There was like multiple different pronunciations, but that's beside the point. I know the first song is Cappuccino's theme, so I know that that's at least going to be relevant to some other themes I've heard of them before, but I don't really know much about the other one. So I guess without further ado, let's go. Ooh. Okay, we're in a... Oh, there's a lot of crunchiness. Very much a minor key. And using every little bit of it. Detuning it too? Come on. Wait a minute. Have I heard this before? I know I've heard some of Arlecchino's stuff before. This sounds kind of familiar. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not? It's kind of... Maybe it's because it's the boss theme thing I think I've heard before. Whew. Okay. I don't remember this section, so... Maybe I'm just remembering the motif stuff, the stuff they borrowed. Woo! Yeah, okay, this is definitely different. Yeah, this part seems weirdly familiar. Maybe I heard it on a live show or something? I don't know, man. But I'm here for it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Doing the beat switch-ups and everything. Can't anticipate anything about this character. What a sick transition. Oh, is that it? That's probably gonna wind down now. Ooh, okay. Well, I didn't like that at the end there. That was spooky. Okay. All right, so it has been a while since I've listened to anything related to Arlecchino, so, like, bear with me on this. I'm going to try and delve into what I know is her theme here with really very little to no memory of what the character's personality is like, but I do remember what she looks like, so that might play a little bit into it. I know like the visual there, so that might be bearing into my opinions here, but this theme on its own shows me a character that is legitimately unhinged in a way that is hard to define, because they're basically like constant emotional highs and lows. They're constantly switching around. It's basically bipolar incarnate in this song. Like, you have that aggression in there with all the electronics and stuff, that lack of clear direction in any of it. You cannot anticipate where the song is going to go ever, what beats are going to happen. There's different patterns all over the place here. It doesn't have a single concept or idea, but constantly, while it does sound sad in those like more minor areas where it's mostly just music box stuff and sounds a lot more beautified, it has some more orchestral stuff going on in there. There's also the rest of the song, which is much more electronic, and it's like two completely different personalities fighting to be at the top and in the front. And while you can definitely hear the clarity in the electronic stuff more, you can almost hear the pain in the softer stuff. Like there's kind of a personality in there that's fighting to take control for the better, but instead the angry sounds kind of take precedence, and they definitely are much more prominent. So I'm like, man, this character must be somebody who's like constantly basically fighting like a single parent, you know, where it's just like the I want to love you, but I don't know how to show what love is. So to them, there's just this catharsis. Anyway, there's just this constant cathartic release in any direction, and you really can't tell if they're a friend or foe at any given point. I don't know how accurate that is to Arlecchino. I know her name, I know the way she looks. That's about it. I really don't remember much about her personality traits that people have talked about in other stuff I've done, but that feels like it would make sense, especially knowing what she looks like. That feels like the personality she would have, maybe like the angry stepmom kind of energy that might be coming out of that, where it's like you want to love your new child, maybe there's just some disconnect there, either the kid doesn't love you or you truly don't love the kid, but you're trying for the sake of some other purpose or other reason. And for the record, that comparison might not necessarily be completely direct. It might very well be a more scale-based thing, like she's viewing an entire area or an entire country even as like her child. Like I don't remember anything about how involved she is in either one person or multiple people's lives in this story, but I would not be surprised if that was her personality. Somebody who's just trying to figure out exactly who or what they are and trying to understand what emotions are truly. Like they might have those facades, those different masks that they put on, but every once in a while it'll slip, and probably more often than not, and is why this song is so randomly combustible. Like it's constantly exploding with energy that you just cannot contain, and it has completely seemingly arbitrary beat patterns in here and switch ups and just sounds that you would not hear normally, especially when the overall motif at the beginning that's trying to fight for that front spot is definitely much more in that minor key and way more sad as a result. So it's just, there's really just a turmoil happening in that personality. So I think that's about all I've got for this song, but of course we have the other one to get to, and I'm not going to try to say the name again, I'm just going to go right to it, so let's go! Okay. Definitely still moody like the last one. This feels like a battle theme, just based off that alone. I wonder if this is related to Arlecchino, too. Yeah, it's got a similar approach. Similar sound profile and everything. Definitely more of a, like, battle song. I love the harpsichord in the background, kind of accenting some stuff underneath. Nice little addition there to the texture. Yeah, we still have like those odd times in there. Not an odd time signature in this case. Just kind of different beat pattern choices. All right. And now it's Undertale. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then it's just, okay, we're fading out from there. Huh. I really do wonder if that has something to do with Arlecchino too, because that just feels too familiar. It feels too much like the last one. So it's very possible that this song is just another character from the same area as Arlecchino, so maybe they're just another character from the Fontaine area, but it sounded like it shared a lot of characteristics with Fortuitum, so I'm like, hey, maybe it is related to her, but it could very well just be a coincidence based on personality traits even. Maybe they're both just very aggressive people, or at least are maybe fans of battle. I could totally see that, especially in this song's case. They sounded a lot like a character that would be interested in fighting because of that. Like, the energy was definitely a fight song. It almost had like Castlevania vibes going on there, like a fight with Dracula, so maybe there's something there. I don't know if that has anything to do with this, or if they delve into vampires at all, but maybe that inspiration of the French sound and kind of symphonic metal in here, especially with the harpsichord and the electric guitar pairing up. But that might just be how it is, and how those different properties are kind of sharing those inspirations, and it just kind of feels familiar. But it definitely has some similarities with Fortuitum, so I would not be surprised if they were related to each other in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just by being in the same area. But as far as the song itself goes, it is just kind of symphonic metal. It's like classic symphonic metal. It's hard, it's matching all these different stringed instruments together, has that beautiful vocal in there to keep things a little bit more bright, but also haunting, you know? Like, there's just a tone to symphonic metal, female vocalists especially, that just sounds so hauntingly beautiful. They just really let their resonance go, and it makes it feel like you're being encapsulated, like wrapped in a shawl of sound, and it's just so gorgeous. It's like a siren song for me. I love it. It's so beautiful. But aside from that, I really don't know if I have much to say about this one as a result of that, just because it is symphonic metal, and that's really all I can break down to say about it. It is pretty much exactly that. There is some different stuff going on in there. Like I said, they kind of play around with the beats and everything, and some of the transitions between those areas are kind of neat, but that's nothing that general symphonic metal doesn't do. So I think they just saw the inspiration of this character and were like, you know what, symphonic metal, that fits them. Maybe they are an aggressive personality as a result, and that just fits what they wanted to go for, so that's what they went with. But as far as the genre goes itself, I don't have much I can really break down about it, because while I enjoy symphonic metal, I don't really know much about it, and I feel like I would be lying if I were to try and act like I did and tell you about something I am not that well versed in. So I guess I'll end this here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other stuff from Genshin you want me to get to, by all means leave them in the comments below, and maybe it will also receive the Harshit blessing in the comments. And of course, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for other stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!